Hi everyone. Today I just wanted to talk with you really about the types of hair that you can find on hair toppers and on wigs. So if you are new to alternative hair, if you've just begun looking for options to help with hair loss, it is a minefield. It was a minefield for me when I started looking last year, not knowing the difference between synthetics, standard synthetics, heat-friendly synthetics, and then human hair. So hopefully today I can help demystify and help you understand the differences between those different types of options. In this video I am wearing a human hair topper. So this is from SuperhairpiecesBabes and it is a topper called the P45. This is, as I said, human hair, so it feels and reacts and behaves exactly as your own bio hair would. Now, obviously, it's not attached to my head. Well, it is, but it's not growing from my own head. So I do treat it more carefully than perhaps I would if this were actually my own bio hair. So, for instance, when it comes to heat styling, straightening, anything like that, I have the ability to use any heat setting on this that I would my bio hair. So I could put this at 180, 200 degrees, 220, and it wouldn't frazzle or burn, it wouldn't singe. It would be exactly like my own human hair. However, I do opt to use a lower heat setting on it, around about 170 I use on this, just because it is a piece and I want to look after it as best as I can. And just the same as with the hair that's growing out of your head, the higher the heat, the more likely you are to damage. So even though you can use a higher heat, I choose to use a slightly lower heat just to try and protect the fibres and elongate the life of this piece so that I can use it for longer. Now, with a synthetic piece, I've got a couple here to show you. So when it comes to heat styling a synthetic piece, now this is a heat-friendly synthetic piece, you do have to be careful. There is a limit to the temperature that you can go up to in order to keep this safe and keep it in tip-top condition. The other thing I do want to mention about heat styling, while we're on the subject, is that I can do other things other than straighten a piece that is made of human hair. So I can curl it, I can put it in rollers, I can use my straighteners, my heat tongs. All those heat options are absolutely fine to do with this human hair piece. And with the heat-friendly synthetic, you can also do the same. However, I do find it's more difficult to create a curl when the heat setting has to be lower at 140 degrees. I find it a bit more tricky, and I have to keep the straighteners on those pieces for a longer amount of time to be able to get it to have the effect that I want. So you can use heat tools to create styles with this, such as curls and waves, etc. With a human hair piece, it isn't going to retain its style. It's not man-made, it is original bio hair, so it's going to behave exactly like your own bio hair. So when you get it wet, it will just transport back into its natural state, curly, straight, frizzy, whatever it might be, and you're going to have to style it to get it to look the way that you want it to again, if that be curls or if that be straightened. So another thing to say about human and synthetic hair is that both of these can be cut. So there may be some stylists out there that aren't comfortable cutting synthetic hair. I know it does feel different for them. My stylist is great. She isn't trained in cutting hair pieces, however she does it comfortably and well. She knows how to cut hair. She said it feels a little bit different when she does it, but yeah, so you can cut both the synthetic and you can obviously cut human hair as well, into different styles. You can add layers in, feather at the front, add bangs, and you can do that on all types of hair. One of the great features about human hair is obviously that it's human, and the way it moves and the way it hangs, it just looks incredibly natural. I can run my fingers through this hair over and over and over again, and my fingers don't get caught in it. They don't tangle. It doesn't tangle up when it's rubbing on my clothes. There's not like the friction that it creates doesn't make it sort of become matted or anything like that. It is just exactly like human hair growing out of your own scalp. Now this piece here is one that I wore a few days ago, and it is a synthetic piece. Now the fibres on a synthetic piece do tend to be, without a shadow of a doubt, a bit drier than human hair. This one does feel a bit drier as I'm running my fingers through it. The other thing that I find as well is that throughout the day when I'm wearing synthetic pieces, both standard and heat friendly, is that they do tend to tangle very quickly, because particularly at the lower ends and the bits at the back that are sort of rubbing on your clothes, it creates a friction, and that friction sort of means that it tends to start kind of not matting, but just getting very tangly very, very quickly. So another great thing about human hair is that if I wash this piece and I wanted to use it again, say this evening, I could pop it back on my head, or I could pop it on my mannequin, and I could take a blow dryer to it, and that would be fine, and it would dry very, very quickly. Whereas with a synthetic piece, I can't touch it with a hairdryer. It has to dry naturally, and I use one of these sort of wig stands like this, so it places on the top and it will dry. It usually does dry overnight, say sort of 8 to 10 hours, but that's quite a lot of time. Like if you wanted to use it the same day, you wouldn't be able to after washing it, because it does take a significantly longer to then get it dry and ready to wear again. One thing we all love our hair to do is to be shiny, because it suggests that it's healthy. However, shine can be healthy looking, but then it can go a little bit above that and it can be ultra shiny. Now this synthetic piece I've had for quite a while, but when I first got this, it was incredibly shiny, really shiny, like which made it look like it was a wig. And it made me feel like it was obvious that it was a wig. Maybe it didn't to other people, but to me, that ultra shine made it look a bit too obvious. Whereas with human hair, I think there's a lovely shine on it, but it's never going to look fake, because it's not fake, it's real hair. So there's another positive to human hair, is that when you receive your human hair piece, it's not going to look overly shiny. And you won't have to do various things to it to kind of reduce any shine, because it would just look like a nice, natural, healthy shine to the hair. So the final thing I want to talk about with the differences between synthetic and with human hair is cost. Now there are synthetics out there for a variety of budgets, and there's human hair pieces out there for a variety of budgets as well. So with synthetics, I've seen synthetic pieces as low as sort of £20 on Amazon, and you can find human hair pieces for as low as a few £100s as well. And then obviously the higher the quality of the piece, the more expensive they're going to get, and that is true for synthetics and for human hair. Now obviously the source of human hair does make human hair pieces more expensive. Even with the budget pieces, they are going to be more expensive than your budget synthetics, but that is because human hair, the source of that, is going to create that additional cost. I think work with the budget that you have. If human hair is something that you really want, then save for it.